Talk to me. What's the biggest problem in your business, Callie?
So right now I'm trying to decide if I want to stay in the gym that I'm currently working out of, or if I want to branch off and go more of a remote route and work from home. So I've been general manager at this place for 5 years now, and I'm slowly growing since I started Active Life, and it's been going really well. But I'm kind of burnt out on the manager stuff, so that's where I'm.
Okay, so if I'm understanding, you've enrolled in our program. You're working as the manager of a gym, and you're trying to decide if you should stay or if you should go because you're getting burnt out on the management side, but you're enjoying the coaching side.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the dilemma for you? Why is this a question? Are you looking for permission, or are you genuinely weighing one side versus the other?
I am genuinely weighing because I like the place, I like the people. I feel like I've grown a lot there, and it being in a really small town, it feels like if I just up and leave, then I'd be losing a big part of the community aspect.
Meaning you feel like if you left, you'd be isolated.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the risk. The risk is isolation, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. And what is the reason that you're thinking about leaving? What would be the opportunity on the other side?
We're growing a farm, and we're trying to homeschool the kids, and just like more of the lifestyle things that we moved to this rural area for. That would work out better if I was in a remote business versus an in-person business.
So you would not continue to work with clients in person one-on-one. They would be online clients?
It would be until I could build something at the house, where like a home gym or a garage gym or something like that.
So ultimately, you would want to do stuff in person at your farmhouse, but in the interim, you would be working with people online until you had the opportunity to do that.
Correct, yes.
What's the gap in between those two? Timeline.
Well, at the moment, I only have one online client, so I feel like I would need to build that up more. And I haven't really been focusing on that because I haven't been sure which direction to go in.
Sure. What is your
So I
in-person?
need more people, yeah.
What does your in-person business look like?
Right now, I have 7 in person and 1 hybrid and 1 remote.
Okay. And what are the? So my question to you at the timeline, Callie, was how long? Like, if you left the gym today, how long would it take for you before you had a gym operational at your farm?
Probably a year, maybe 2.
Okay. So why would you leave before that's ready? What would be the impetus to do that?
I would feel more confident with just focusing on the programming of the clients. When I'm doing things at the gym, I feel like I'm getting pulled in multiple directions. Like I'm working with a client, but then the water fountain breaks, and I come and get in there. So I feel like I would have more like dedicated time.
I have a water fountain referral for you, but we'll do that later.
Oh, perfect.
All right, first things first. I want to point out to you what I think feels complicated, but because you're in it, and feels simple to me because I'm not. Okay? So it's somewhere between the complicated that you feel and the simple that I do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. You need to solve for isolation. If you didn't feel isolated leaving the gym, you would have left the gym already.
Right.
Right? So that's the first thing. The solve is not for the business, it's for the isolation. Do you follow me on that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, now the next thing is what probably goes through your mind is, well, yeah, but then I would go from working with 8 people twice a week for however much you're making per session to not. And that money being out the door isn't awesome either. Is that true?
That is true, yes.
Okay. Have you ever discussed with the gym owner the prospects of you moving from manager to just being a coach again?
I have not, mainly because he's out of state. So I've taken on more responsibilities because he's physically not here.
You've stepped up because you take care of the place that you work in.
Right.
Okay. Let's pretend for a moment that you weren't the manager. Let's just go live in a hypothetical world. There was another manager who's there. You respect them. They do a great job. You're coaching all day long, as much as you want. Are you still looking to build something in your barn? Is this still a question for you, or are you staying at the gym?
I think I would go more of a 50-50. I wouldn't build the gym here. I would just do some, like at the farm, I would just do the remote clients and then go to the gym for any in-person clients I had. I think I would split it.
Great. How do you get paid for personal training sessions? Do you get paid well, or are you struggling to get by with what you're getting paid there?
It's decent. It's better than the commercial gyms I worked at in the past, but it's still a commission split, so it's 70-30. I take home 70.
And what are you charging? That's a good rate.
100 a session.
Okay. So is that the appropriate price for the market that you're in? Let's just start there real quick.
It's a little under. I felt like since I was constantly getting interrupted, I wasn't providing the value to do the 120 that I should be charging.
Okay. Your opportunity, the way I see it, is really, 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 it's simple to describe, it's hard to execute, and it's life-changing. You ready for it?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay. First things first, you need to build out the trainers in the gym that you're the manager of. Do they wear uniforms when they coach classes?
50-50. They have a uniform, but they don't always wear it.
Do they wear uniforms when they coach one-on-ones?
Yes.
Okay. You need to, the first thing I'm doing if I'm you, this is the uniform you wear when you coach class. If you come in and you're not wearing this uniform, go home. I will coach the class on your behalf, and that's it. You do that twice, you don't work here anymore. A uniform that everyone knows the person wearing that shirt is coaching class. I would make that a bright color. The reason I make that a bright color is because everyone in the room can find that person. Follow me?
Yeah.
Next is when you're working with somebody one-on-one. You are also wearing a uniform. It's a dark or muted color. The reason for that is you're not easy to find. That, what you want to then let the membership know is if you need something, if something goes wrong, the person wearing the bright colored uniform is the person that you want to bring that problem to. The person wearing the dark colored uniform is in session with somebody who is paid for that time. Do you follow me there?
Yeah, no, I like that.
If there's a problem that needs to be solved that can only be solved by you, the likelihood is most of them are important but not urgent, or urgent but not important.
That's true.
Those, you can leave something at the front desk that people can write the problem down on, you can review it, and you can resolve it later on.
Okay, yeah.
Every time someone brings you a problem while you're in a training session, please go to the front desk and write that down, or find the coach running class, I'm in a session. That's the only answer they get.
Yeah, I didn't be more direct.
That's it. But there is no solution. You do not offer any inkling of a solution.
Okay.
The next thing is look at all of the tasks that you are doing that are managerial. You need to bring to the owner, I want to take all of the tasks that I do that are managerial, that are urgent but not important, meaning not philosophical changes to the gym, right? Not payouts, not pricing, none of that stuff. I bet 80% of your time as manager is spent doing things that are not important but are urgent and repetitive. Sending out emails, right? So
Yeah.
you're going to outsource that to somebody else. You're not going to do those anymore. It's going to be an added expense that the gym owner has, but that's the price of doing business when you're out of state.
Right.
Okay? You are going to take all of the time that you used to spend doing that, and you're going to train clients in person.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Additionally, you're going to price correct so that you're at the right price for the market. So what is it, 120?
Yeah.
So you're going to go to 120. And now instead of making 70, you're going to make 70, what is that, 74? Yeah. No. You make 70% of that. You're going to make, instead of making 70, you make 70% of 20, you'll make an additional $14. So you're at $84 a session.
Okay.
Gym owners making more money too. Clients are getting the same great results. If you did that, do you feel like you would still be burnt out in the gym?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so what you need to be able to do now is tell the owner, like you go with a full plan. You don't go with an idea. I do the following set of things that anybody could do if they were trained once to do them. I'm not going to do them anymore because they're not revenue generating for the gym. They don't enforce the culture. They're just busy work, and it's forcing me to, like, I'm leading to feeling burnt out, which has had me thinking about what else could I do besides this for a living, and that's not how I want to feel. It's not what I want to do. I want to be here. I want to serve these people. This is my community. The gym owner is going to say, I understand. That makes perfect sense. If they're high integrity, are they?
Oh, he's great. Yeah, he's a good guy.
So he's going to want you to be happy, and he's going to want you to stay, yes?
Yes.
So like these tasks that I do, I am going to find somebody else to do them. I'm going to pay that person to do them. This is the number of hours per week it should take. This is what I'm going to pay them per hour. This is the additional cost to the gym. It's probably somewhere in the ballpark of 10 to 15 hours at like $20 per hour. Would you agree?
That sounds about right.
So let's say that's $300 per week. That's 10 to 15 hours per week that you're not going to be doing that work anymore when you could be training clients. We agree on that too, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, if you increase the price of sessions from 100 to 120, the gym owner is getting 30% of 120, and you can add 10 sessions per week. What does the gym owner get from those 10 sessions total per week? $360.
360, yeah.
Okay? The gym owner makes $360 per week on the additional sessions that you're able to perform, not only the ones you're already doing, the additional. The job you're hiring for pays $300 per week. The gym owner is net positive $60 per week, and you are net positive freedom of fulfillment.
Yeah, I like that a lot. It sounds simple when you say it out loud.
Like I said, it's easy to say, it's harder to execute. But everybody wins when you do this. The person who you're offloading these, remedial tasks that are repetitive to could be somebody who's already in the gym, who has really high follow through without a ton of stuff to do outside of the gym, who would love to do it.
Right, probably the front desk, because they sit there at the computer all day anyway.
If you have a front desk, this is absolutely front desk work.
Mm-hmm.
What you need to be able to do as a manager, Callie, is help them understand how to know if they're being successful or not. This might not even cost the gym owner anything extra. It might be work that they can do in time they're already paid for.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They're already sitting there and they already have some downtime, so it'd just be something to keep them working and actually doing things the whole day.
That's great. Make sure that they understand how they're successful at that job, and you don't have to leave.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
All right, was this helpful for you?
Very helpful, thank you.
All right, you're welcome, Callie. One last thing I would say to you, solve for isolation even though you don't need to. Because if you ever get to the point that you feel like you want to leave, at least you don't stay for a reason that is, I would be isolated if I don't.
Right, that would be important too.
So find a second community.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Good talking to you, Callie.
Yeah, good talking to you too. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.